Running is a really great analogy for life, and specifically for YouTube burnout.
I really hate running.
So about a month ago, we released our video over rebranding Adventure in a Backpack to EXPLORIST.life, and we have not put out any videos since then. We've been dealing with YouTube burnout and want to talk about why. We tried to put out too much content in too short of a time. Over the last year, we've put out 100 videos, but the thing is there were a few weeks where we only had one video a week, but there was like one week in particular where we did 5 videos in a week. I really like putting in some extra effort into these videos and making them like really nice, highly edited videos, and you guys watching these have voiced your opinions that you don't need that, but it's what I like to do. It's what I like to edit, so I'm not going to upload something that I don't like.
Going back to that running analogy, YouTube really is more of a marathon than a sprint. And those times when we were uploading five times in a week, or even the times when we were uploading twice in a week and doing a live video, that's 3 videos in 1 week. That's a lot. And that was
too much.
Essentially the sprint. You can't maintain a sprint forever.
And whenever things aren't working exactly and something else comes along and puts another roadblock in the way, it makes things even worse, which leads us to reason number 2. In early May of this year, I got an email from this company that was wanting to put some of our adventure videos onto like a set-top box, kind of like a Roku or a Hulu or whatever the case is. And I was like, fantastic, that sounds really cool. It's going to be like a good business thing for us, and you know, it's going to give them some content. It's going to like increase our reach. It was just going to be an all-around good deal. And so I'm like, great, let's do this. And so I got a hold of the company who does our music licensing, Epidemic Sound. They put together a list of like of what they were going to propose, and they came back with an absurdly high number, and it was in the five-figure range. That's over $10,000 if you didn't catch on that. And which I was like,
per video, right?
That was if it went up to Netflix. If it went on to Netflix, it was going to be $12,000 a video, and we're like, that's stupid. Like, go away. And so they came back, and we went back and forth, and we finally reached an agreement. But we're still not happy with an agreement. Basically, not only was it for the set-top boxes, but it was also for IGTV and Facebook video and all this other stuff that I wanted to be able to distribute our content to. And so knowing that our videos were handcuffed to only YouTube was incredibly discouraging. And I'm talking, this is like 6 months ago that this has been going on, and we finally, literally last week, signed the papers and paid a fair amount to get our videos onto IGTV and to Facebook and to that other platform. And so it was incredibly frustrating going from like already having this like a bit of a burnout, but we're like, you know what? The more we work, the better it's going to do. And then all of a sudden you get this roadblock put in the way and saying that our videos are basically worthless, and the music in our videos is worth far more than our videos are even worth, was incredibly discouraging. So that contributed to the YouTube burnout. Point number 3 is I hate to gripe about this because it's truly and honestly a good problem to have, but this is only my 2nd year as a professional videographer. Last year, I took on a few paid gigs, but they were like, hey, do you want to film this for us? And I'm like, yeah, sure. I'd go take the film and I'd turn it in and it'd be good to go. And then at the end of last year, I actually had a schedule for this year. So I took on too many clients for too little pay, so I couldn't outsource the things I needed to. I'm not complaining about that. That's a good problem to have, but it was a growing pain in my business. And I think all businesses likely go through that. And so now that's something I know that I need to be able to schedule out my stuff, what I'm capable of, what I'm not capable of in given time frames and all that kind of stuff. So it's a blessing and a curse, but you know, having paid clients meant that I needed to dedicate more time to that than I could to YouTube.
I think I contributed to that problem as well, because the videos that he shoots in his business is that I'm the model. 99.9% of the time, the subject in the video. My business has taken off this year, and that's, again, not a bad problem to have. But he needs me to be in videos, and I can't be in videos because I have other stuff to deal with. I have conference calls all day or whatever may happen. It really puts a damper on his ability to create. When I'm sitting there going, all right, come on, can you hurry up? Like, I need to get back to my laptop. that's not very good for the creative process.
Hurry up,
And
create things.
yeah, create it faster.
Yeah.
Make it faster.
Doesn't work.
Doesn't work.
So all of that basically led to the fourth-ish reason of YouTube burnout was just a general lack of time. We didn't have time to shoot the quality of videos for YouTube that we wanted to. We didn't have the time to put in the research for the YouTube videos of the ones that are like educational and stuff. Didn't have time to stay up on client work. We didn't have time to do the shooting, the editing, and the uploading portion of it, because that takes a lot of time between gathering keywords and proper metadata and researching good titles and all that kind of stuff for YouTube videos. All of that just basically piled up into a lack of time. There for a while, we were literally getting up at 6. We were working before 7. And we were working until 11. It was pretty much an everyday kind of thing. Tie that in with the rebrand that we did, and we had zero time for anything. And honestly, there were a few times where we had to go take pictures for Instagram or take pictures for brands and all this kind of stuff, and it was just so fake. It was because we would get out and we would have to like set up a shot that made it look like we were out having this grand adventure, when in all reality we were working, 16 hours a day. And that was tough. And that yet compiled onto the whole YouTube burnout.
It's unsustainable. Back to the running analogy. After you've sprinted for a while, which is essentially what we've done on YouTube, you can't just automatically return back to that pace, that sustainable pace, right? You have to take a break. You have to catch your breath. So that's what we just did. We took a break from YouTube. It wasn't a planned break, but it was a necessary break. Our YouTube muscles were fatigued and cramping majorly. We had to stop. We had to rest. We had to take a break.
But now that all of that is taken care of mostly, pretty much got all my client work good to go. Stephanie's getting fantastic systems in place for her business, so she's not having to work quite as much and can just generally be more efficient. I'm motivated to, now that I've got the epidemic sound thing like taken care of and I've been able to switch my music, like I'm more motivated to shoot videos now that I know that they can be repurposed from YouTube to Facebook to Instagram to wherever else I want to put them. All of that is shaping back up to be this great comeback.
We're not going to promise you guys a schedule. We're gonna let the content come as it makes sense, as it's interesting, as it's informative, as it's entertaining.
Yep.
And that doesn't always come on a schedule.
Like honestly, if we're not on YouTube, we're on Instagram. We're always going to be on Instagram, so be sure you're following us there. If you're on Facebook, we've got 2 Facebook groups that we've got. I've got a DIY camper van group that's kind of about building DIY camper vans.
And I have a group that is based around building a sustainable business that you can take on the road.
So we can always be found somewhere. So we are going to be getting back into YouTube more often, posting. But yeah, we're just not going to commit to a schedule as of right now. We've got some really, really cool stuff coming up. But I think that's all I've got, right? What about you?
Yeah, I think that's all I've got too.
Fantastic. So until next time.
Bye.